The house, once a bustling hub of family life, now feels like a quiet, cluttered museum of a life already lived, and you are its tired, overwhelmed curator, paralyzed by the sheer volume of it all. This isn't just about mess, it's about the heavy weight of the past freezing your ability to move forward. But this feeling is more than just fatigue. It's a quiet, creeping anxiety that this isn't just clutter anymore. It's a threat. It's the stack of books by the armchair that makes the walkway a little too narrow. It's the box of old photographs in the hallway that you have to step around in the dark. These aren't just things. They are small, daily surrenders of your own space, quiet thieves of your mobility and your safety. And beneath it all lies the deepest fear, the thought of a phone call, a visit from the kids, and seeing the look of concern in their eyes. The fear that they will stop seeing you and start seeing a problem to be solved. That one day, under the guise of helping, they will begin making decisions for you, sorting through your life without your permission. If the idea of remaining the author of your own story is non-negotiable, then take a moment to subscribe. This channel is built for those who are committed to protecting their independence, ensuring their home remains their sanctuary. Today, we're not just tidying up. We are building an impenetrable fortress for your autonomy. That feeling of being stuck isn't just in your head. It's baked into the very walls of your home. Every object you see represents a decision that was postponed. The set of fine china, a wedding gift from decades ago, sits untouched in a cabinet, too precious to use, but too sentimental to release. Your late husband's collection of books, gathering dust on a shelf, feels like a sacred memorial you have no right to disturb. Each item is a ghost of a past role. The young bride, the busy mother, the devoted wife. To let go of the object feels like a betrayal of that identity, an erasure of a life you cherished. This is the invisible conflict raging in the quiet of your home. It's a battle between the person you were and the person you need to become. The physical weight of these possessions is nothing compared to the emotional weight of the guilt, the grief, and the profound sense of obligation they carry with them. Beneath the surface of this internal struggle lies a deeper, more immediate fear, the fear of being seen as incapable. You imagine your children visiting, their eyes scanning the room not with nostalgia, but with a quiet clinical assessment. You see them exchange a look over the stacks of mail, a silent conversation that you are not a part of. This is the moment you dread most, the subtle shift from being the respected matriarch to becoming a project, a problem to be managed. Their offers to help you sort through things are heard not as loving gestures, but as the first step in a slow, gentle takeover. They are not trying to steal your memories. They are trying to manage a risk. But in doing so, they threaten to strip you of the one thing you value most, your authority over your own life. The clutter in this light becomes a defensive wall against their good intentions, a fortress built to protect your role as the sole decision-maker within your own domain. Ultimately, the state of your home becomes a perfect reflection of your internal world. A cluttered room is a cluttered mind, filled with unresolved thoughts and lingering obligations. The narrow pathways you navigate around furniture are the limited options you feel you have for the future. The lack of clear, open surfaces mirrors a lack of mental space to dream, to plan, or simply to rest. The house itself feels like it's holding its breath, saturated with the past, with no room for fresh air, for a new idea, a new hobby, a new chapter to enter. This is why the task feels so monumental. You are not just facing boxes and furniture. You are facing the accumulated evidence of a life that feels complete, with no space left for what is to come. The real challenge, then, is not about finding the energy to clean. It's about finding the courage to decide that your story isn't over yet. It's about choosing to exhale. The turning point doesn't arrive with a thunderclap, but with a quiet, heart-stopping stumble. One afternoon, reaching for a photo album on a high shelf, your foot catches the edge of a box you've stepped around 1,000 times. For a split second, the world tilts. You catch yourself on the doorframe, knuckles white, breath held tight in your chest. But in that moment of regained balance, something shatters. The familiar landscape of your home suddenly looks alien, treacherous. That box is no longer a container of memories, it is a hazard. The narrow path to the kitchen is not a quirk of a full life, but a calculated risk you take every single day. The question rises, cold and clear, cutting through years of procrastination. If I don't fix this now, when? The answer is terrifyingly simple. After the fall, after the phone call, after the choice is no longer mine to make. In that instant, the exhaustion is burned away by a surge of pure, protective clarity. This is no longer about the past. It is about protecting the future. The decision that follows isn't born from a sudden burst of energy, but from a quiet, unshakable resolve. It's a promise you make to yourself, standing there in the stillness of the hallway. The war against overwhelm will not be won by a frantic, weekend-long purge. It will be won strategically with a clear and methodical plan of attack. This is where we stop seeing a house full of memories and start seeing a battlefield with clear objectives. We will not be using vague organizing tips. We will be deploying a precise 10-point checklist designed for one purpose: to neutralize the greatest threats to your independence first. This is the Independence Protection Method. It is not about what you are losing, it is about what you are securing. Each item on this list represents a concrete step toward reclaiming your space, your safety, and your absolute authority over your own life. The paralysis is over. The movement begins now with the first name on that list. The first step in the Independence Protection Method is not about sorting keepsakes. It's about neutralizing immediate threats. We begin with rule number 1, eliminate all ground-level hazards. Look down. That decorative rug whose corner always curls up, the extension cord stretched across the den, the stack of magazines next to your armchair. These are not features of a cozy home. They are calculated risks you've been forced to navigate every single day. The consequence of ignoring this is not a messy floor. It's the fall that changes everything. It's the event that can trigger a cascade of dependence, from a hospital stay to the moment your children insist you can no longer live alone safely. The micro victory here is profound and immediate. Removing that one rug or securing that one cord isn't just cleaning. It's an act of defiance. It's the physical reclamation of your right to move freely and confidently in your own space, a silent declaration that your home will be a sanctuary of safety, not a landscape of hidden dangers. Next, we move from the floor to the medicine cabinet. Rule number 2, purge the pharmacy of the past. This is a non-negotiable step. That cabinet filled with expired prescriptions, leftover antibiotics from a decade-old infection, and bottles of pills you can no longer identify is a ticking time bomb. The danger isn't just the space it consumes, it's the potential for a life-altering mistake in a moment of confusion or poor light. Taking the wrong medication can lead to a medical crisis that undermines your ability to manage your own health, providing the very evidence others might use to argue you need supervision. Ignoring this is a silent gamble with your well-being. The transformation that occurs when you clear it out is immense. By safely disposing of everything outdated or unnecessary, you create a space of absolute clarity and control. This isn't just tidying a shelf, it's a powerful affirmation of your competence and a critical step in safeguarding your health autonomy. You are reinforcing that you are the vigilant guardian of your own body. From physical health, we turn to financial security with rule number 3, conquer the paper avalanche. Those stacks of unopened mail, old bank statements, and decades-old utility bills are more than just clutter. They are a source of chronic low-grade anxiety and a significant vulnerability. The real threat lies in the chaos. In an emergency, could you or a trusted person quickly locate your most important documents? This disorganization can lead to missed payments, lost opportunities, and a pervasive sense of being overwhelmed by your own affairs. The consequence of inaction is a slow surrender of financial control, creating a situation where it appears you can no longer manage things on your own. The victory here is a feeling of profound lightness and order. The simple act of creating one designated file for current bills and shredding the rest is a monumental step. It's not about becoming a perfect bookkeeper. It's about reclaiming your financial clarity and building a fortress against chaos and dependency. It is the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are in complete command. Now, we address the larger obstacles with rule number 4, dismantle the furniture obstacle course. That extra armchair you have to squeeze past, the bulky coffee table that forces a detour, the footstool that lives in the main walkway, these pieces are slowly stealing your freedom of movement. They are silent conspirators in shrinking your world, forcing your body to make constant micro-adjustments and calculations just to get from one room to another. This isn't about interior design. It's about ergonomics for a life of ease and safety. The consequence of ignoring this is a home that gradually becomes a cage, where your own furniture dictates where you can and cannot go with confidence. A simple trip can become a dreaded journey, but the moment you decide to move one single piece, something magical happens. By relocating that unused side table, you don't just clear a path, you restore a flow of energy and light. You reclaim square footage, yes, but more importantly, you reclaim the effortless liberty of walking through your home with your head held high, unburdened and unimpeded. With the most immediate dangers neutralized, you arrive at the heart of the resistance. This is where the real battle is fought, not in the hallways, but in the quiet chambers of the heart. You now face the boxes that contain not just things, but ghosts. Your late husband's favorite armchair, still holding the faint impression of his form. The children's first drawings, their crayon colors faded, but the love they represent as vibrant as ever. Each object is a direct line to a moment, a person, a version of yourself you thought you'd be forever. The logic that helped you clear the floors and the medicine cabinet now fails completely. A new, more powerful emotion rises, the fear of erasure, the fear that letting go of the object is a betrayal of the memory itself, a final, definitive goodbye you are not ready to say. This is the point where most people stop, convinced that living in a museum of the past is preferable to the perceived emptiness of a future without these tangible anchors. This is precisely why we must change the question we are asking. The old logic of, does this spark joy, is not sufficient when dealing with the complex tapestry of grief, love, and obligation. We need a more honest, more powerful tool. This is Rule number 5. Apply the joy versus weight test. Pick up an object, hold it in your hands, and close your eyes. Now ask yourself one simple, unsparing question. When I look at this, do I feel a spark of active joy in my present life, or do I feel the heavy, silent obligation of a past I am forced to carry? The distinction is critical. A memory that brings a light, warm smile is a source of joy. A memory that brings a sigh, a tightening in your chest, and the thought, I should keep this, is a weight. This test gives you permission to honor your past without being imprisoned by it. It is not about what you are throwing away. It is about what you are choosing to carry forward into the next chapter of your life. The first time you apply this test, the result is nothing short of a revelation. You pick up a heavy, ornate vase, a gift from a relative you barely knew, that has done nothing but collect dust and guilt for 20 years. You feel the weight, you let it go, and the space it leaves behind is not empty. It is light. You move to your husband's collection of old maps. You look at them and feel not the joy of his passion, but the heavy weight of your responsibility to curate his legacy. You decide to keep one, the one that reminds you of a trip you took together, and release the rest. This is not an act of forgetting. It is an act of choosing. You are choosing to carry the love, not the obligation. With each decision, you are not losing a piece of your past. You are liberating your present. You are making a conscious, powerful choice to fill your home not with relics of a life that has been lived, but with the space, clarity, and energy for the life that is waiting for you now. Your independence is being rebuilt, not just in your physical safety, but in your emotional freedom. The morning light no longer slices through the room. It fills it. It pools on the polished surface of the side table, now holding only a single book and a cup of fresh tea. It stretches across the open floor, unimpeded by boxes or stray furniture. Walking through these rooms is a different experience now. The silence is no longer the heavy, oppressive quiet of a museum after hours. It's a calm, generative silence, humming with potential. You realize with a startling clarity that the fear of erasure was a lie. The memories were never in the china you didn't use or the books you didn't read. They are inside you, vibrant and alive, and they are lighter now, freed from the dusty objects that held them captive. You are no longer the tired curator of a life that has already been lived. You are the architect of a sanctuary, a space designed for clarity, safety, and peace. This isn't an empty house. It is a clear statement. It is the physical manifestation of your decision to remain in control. This newfound clarity solidifies into a new identity. You are not just someone who tidied up. You are a woman who took decisive action to protect her future. You are strategic, clear-eyed, and unapologetically in charge of your own domain. The proof is in the small, deliberate changes that follow. The corner where your husband's bulky armchair once stood, a monument to a life that was, now holds a small easel and a set of watercolors you bought last week. The space is no longer a memorial. It is a workshop for a life that is still unfolding. When your children visit, they will say, "The house looks wonderful," but they will not understand the profound truth of what they are seeing. They are not looking at a clean house. They are looking at a declaration of independence, a fortress built not of stone and mortar, but of intention and choice. The weight is gone. In its place is the thrilling, quiet lightness of a new beginning, a blank page on which you and only you will write what comes next. The first morning in your reclaimed home feels fundamentally different. The sunlight doesn't just illuminate dust, it floods the space, stretching across clear, open floors and reflecting off polished surfaces. The air itself seems lighter, easier to breathe. As you walk from the bedroom to the kitchen, your path is effortless, your movements fluid and confident. There is no internal map of obstacles to navigate, no subconscious bracings for a misstep. This absence of friction is more than a physical convenience. It's a profound mental release. The low-grade hum of anxiety that once filled the silence is gone, replaced by a quiet, generative calm. You are no longer a visitor in a museum of your own past, tiptoeing around fragile relics. You are the master of a living, breathing sanctuary, a space that serves your present and anticipates your future. This is the feeling of waking up not just in a clean house, but inside a clear mind. This transformation radiates outward, reshaping your relationships. When your children come to visit, the dynamic has shifted in a way they can feel but perhaps not articulate. Their eyes no longer scan the room with a subtle diagnostic concern. Instead, they see you. They see the vibrant watercolor painting you've started, now resting on an easel in the corner that once held a mountain of old magazines. The conversation is not about their worries for you, but about your plans, your ideas, your new passions. You are no longer a problem to be solved or a project to be managed. You are, once again, the vibrant center of the home, a source of wisdom and inspiration. By taking control of your environment, you have reset the terms of engagement. You have silently and powerfully communicated that you are the author of your own life, and they are simply welcome guests in the story you continue to write. The confidence you forged in this process becomes a catalyst for a broader renaissance in your life. The decisiveness required to sort through decades of possessions was a muscle. And now that it has been strengthened, you find yourself flexing it in other areas. You finally sit down and organize your financial papers not with dread, but with the same methodical clarity you used on your closets. You book the trip to the coast you've been dreaming of for years, the mental clutter of what-ifs now swept away. The energy that was once consumed by the sheer weight of your surroundings is now freed up for connection, for learning, for adventure. Decluttering your home was never the ultimate goal. It was the essential first step in decluttering your life. It was the tangible proof you needed that you possess the power to enact meaningful change and design the future you desire, one deliberate choice at a time. Your home is now more than a place of comfort. It is a strategic asset, the cornerstone of your long-term independence. Every clear pathway is a preventative measure against a fall. Every organized cabinet is a defense against confusion. Every accessible item is a declaration that you do not need to rely on others for your daily needs. You have consciously engineered an environment that will support your autonomy for years, even decades to come. This is the profound, practical magic of the independence blueprint. It is an act of profound love and foresight for your future self. The peace of mind that comes from this is immeasurable. It is the deep, quiet assurance that you have done everything in your power to remain in the driver's seat of your own life, ensuring your home remains your fortress of freedom, not a reason for it to be taken away. The most significant change, however, is the one that cannot be seen. It is the emotional liberation that follows the physical one. The ghosts that once haunted the hallways have been gently ushered out. You have made peace with the past, understanding that memories are not stored in porcelain or fabric. They reside within you, vibrant and weightless. The guilt of should has been replaced by the freedom of choose. You have learned to honor your history without being imprisoned by it. This is the ultimate victory, the realization that you can hold a lifetime of love, experience, and even loss in your heart without needing to carry its physical weight in your hands. Your home is no longer a monument to who you were. It is a launching pad for who you are becoming, a clear and open space for your spirit to expand. Your independence is built on a foundation of small, courageous decisions just like these. It's a structure you must actively maintain and protect every single day. If you are committed to continuing this work, to fortifying the life you have built, then subscribe to this channel. This is not just a collection of videos. It is a dedicated resource for those who choose to remain the architects of their own future, for people who understand that true freedom after 60 is a matter of intention, not of chance. Join a community that is choosing to stay in control, and let's continue building that future together. The late afternoon sun now casts long, gentle shadows across the room. You sit in your favorite chair, not surrounded by the clutter of yesterday, but by the quiet potential of tomorrow. On the small, clear table beside you rests a journal, its pages crisp and white, and a pen. The house is silent, but it is a silence filled with promise, not with the echoes of a finished story. You look around at the space you have created, a space for living, not just for remembering. You understand now that clearing your home was never about an ending. It was not about erasing the past or closing a final chapter. It was about clearing the table. It was about taking a deep breath, picking up the pen, and giving yourself the clean, beautiful, empty page on which to write whatever comes next.